There's been quite some good, lively discussion about the area of taxation in Uganda this month. And this comes at a time when the taxman and government are actually presenting tax proposals for the new financial year, that is 2024-2025. Now, there's been quite some concerns in some quarters within the business community. At the same time, we're seeing government also coming in to give an explanation of where it's coming from to actually propose the kind of taxes it's proposing. Now, in this segment, we're picking the mind of an economist to try and understand the discussion around taxation in Uganda, specifically on housing.
Governments all over, they always come up with the taxes, mainly to satisfy that economic theory of funding government. Now, the question which probably we need to debate, are these taxes relevant now? Are they appropriate in the right sector? Is it fair? Is it convenient? Is it efficient? And if you put all this into context, then we can probably now understand why these amendments. A brief analysis of the amendment proposal reveals that government wants to fill up a gap of about 1.9 trillion, which money they are thinking, I think, that they will forfeit when they now reduce on the debt financing. So they want to get that money from within. This amendment is likely to generate that. But if you look at it from a broader perspective, look at the population of Uganda. If you look at the statistics, they reveal we have over about 3 million people who are living in deficient housing. Over 3 million. Now, if you bring a proposal where you have majority of Ugandans, of about 3 million, is not a small number, because this is Habitat for Humanity, which is a UN organization that gives those statistics. WOBOS also rotates within that same figure, that is Uganda Bureau of Statistics. Now, Charles, should we tax the housing sector? To me, I think no, they have gone too far, because while the proposal to introduce a withholding tax, I've heard people say they have introduced a tax. No, what I read, unless I receive clarification, it is a withholding. Withholding tax is the means of collection. It's not a tax per se. But once you file in your returns, you offset what you already paid. Now, the only difference is, because naturally we don't like remitting when we have the cash. Now, what URA and the government does, they make the other third party hold money that is not theirs, and they pay it to URA. And it is simpler. Once I know I have Charles' money, I bought land from him. He left me with his 5 million. The land was 100 million, so he left me with his 5 million. I can easily remit that 5 million than if that 5 million is mine. Okay? But also, now my challenge with that I have no problem. Because, first of all, the withholding tax is slightly lower than the threshold of 6%, which I think now here, it is sort of a good consideration for the real estate sector, because the withholding tax is 6%. Now here it is 5%, which makes it, to me, which makes it look good. However, I'm concerned. We already have higher prices on building materials. You cannot increase the tax. You cannot put a tax on cement. You can't put a tax on adhesive, grout. These are common And moreover, many people are sleeping in inadequate houses. Do you still want people to use cow dung? If people can't afford with the current pricing, you now, even besides, we have a speculative business-minded sector. You introduce by just 500. The guy increases, says they put a tax increases by 20,000. How much? Because right now, some hardwares sell cement as much as 45,000, 48, 50. How much will a bag of cement buy if you introduce this tax? How many people will afford tiled houses if adhesive and these other grout and these other things you introduce a tax on them? To me, the cost of those materials, even in steel and other things, is going to become high. And we shall see very many people living in inadequate housing. What should the government do? I think we have got to put our priorities right. Today, emphasis should be put on expenditure control.
Artificial intelligence is a new thing and everyone is excited about it, especially those that are within the business community. Now, in this segment, we're looking at the new partners that are keen on joining the Ugandan market to drive the agenda of artificial intelligence. Technology has made it easy for companies to do research about business operations using real-time statistics or numbers generated by new digital applications, including artificial intelligence. However, many businesses have not been able to tap into this benefit due to lack of updated technology infrastructure, technical know-how, and at times the high data costs, especially for those sitting within the small and medium enterprise docket.
When you build data warehouses, when you build business intelligence platforms, it's just not enough. Okay, so you can see your numbers, you can look at your numbers, you can see your trend. Then the next thing is, what do you do with those numbers? What do you do with it? Okay, how do you accelerate value, delivery just by seeing the numbers? So there's a bit of automation that is needed. You need to be able to see some of those insights and create some smart engines around them that would automatically take it to the next level.
To experts, getting the right technology should move hand in hand with the right technical skills to help firms optimize benefits out of the technological infrastructure investments made.
For example, you want to, there's a high value customer somewhere, and when the customer calls a call center, you don't want the high value customer to stay very long on the queue, because you want to give the high value customer some set of belonging. And then there's another system that's going to help you get the value, get how much is this person bringing into the company, that will make me to determine whether it's only a high value or low value customer. Okay, so you have different systems in different places, but it's your ability to help to bring all these elements together and try and do some automation, API integration, API marketplaces. So we do a lot of work to energize organizations to seamlessly connect different systems, whether to accelerate value delivery.
To the business community, however, the cost of embracing new technologies remain high to many, with some citing data costs and access challenges in some places as inhibiting factors, besides the huge costs of business systems. The ICT Ministry, however, maintains that government is still committed to bringing down internet costs and improve access across the country.
Digital infrastructure, and we've been laying the national backbone infrastructure, the optic fiber. Of course, we're appreciating that Uganda is a land-linked country. We get our NBI through the Indian Ocean, through Kenya, Uganda. We've recently linked it with the Tanzanian network. We've covered like half of the country, but thankfully we now have resources to extend this fiber to the rest of the country. so that we can attain connectivity from corner to corner, from Karamoja, Kigezi, from West Nile to Busia. We would want the NBI to cover the whole country, and also we do last mile connections.
According to pundits, Uganda, with a youthful population and the bulk of it fairly educated, possesses an untapped demographic potential which could leverage technology to drive the country's digital economy and by extension wider transformation.